Okay, folks, let's talk a little bit about buying cigars in Cuba. Just got back, my wife and I did, from a trip to Havana, Cuba. We spent 8 days in Havana, flew down there. If you're an American citizen, U.S. citizen, then you know that we cannot go on a cruise ship at this time. So we had to fly. We originally went on a cruise ship last year, and we're going to go again on a cruise ship, but President Trump put a halt to that, and so we decided to fly. I'm going to have another video that'll talk about going under the visa, support the Cuban people. So I'll probably upload that within the next 2 weeks of uploading this video. But this one is going to be about buying cigars in Cuba. One thing that I would suggest if you're an American citizen and you're going to be buying cigars down there, and you're going to be spending more than, say, $1,000, you're really going to be better off to convert your U.S. dollars to Canadian currency or euros. And that's because the Cuban government has a 10% tax on a 10% tax on American dollars. So you're going to get hit with not only your 3% conversion fee, but you're also going to get hit with a 10% tax. So just to, as an example, I converted $5,500, $5,500 of U.S. dollars into Canadian currency, and then took it down there and converted that into CUCs. And that actually ended up saving me about $200 over just taking U.S. dollars down there, because again, you get hit with that 10% tax. So it's you'll get $87 for every 100 you exchange, but it saves you. It ends up saving you about 4%, realistically, by the time you pay the conversion either to euros or to Canadian dollars, and then to CUCs versus going straight with American. But anyway, that's just one tip for you. Also, before you go, check the State Department, U.S. State Department's list of businesses that Americans cannot do business with. And I note that because there's a good many hotels, and included in those hotels is the Hotel Conde de Villanueva, which happens to be the location of a very nice La Casa del Habanos store, which is the state-run cigar shop. So you can't buy cigars at that one. Another tip for you is to be prepared to search for your more popular cigars. I went down there with one mission, and if I could find it, I wanted it. That's the Upman Connoisseur B. I bought some of those the last time I was there. Very creamy and smooth, very good cigar. Excellent cigar. I wanted to buy a couple of boxes of them. Could not find them. I was highly disappointed. Those are they're a popular size, and they're highly rated, so they're just tough to find. Also, we looked for several others as gifts for friends they had asked about. The Cohiba Siglo 6s, nowhere to be found in boxes or even in singles. The Behiki 52s, nowhere. Quay d'Orsay 54s, nowhere. And when I say nowhere, I actually went to 4 La Casa del Habano stores: Hotel Nacional, Hotel Habana Libre, the old Protegas factory, and the Hotel Conde de Villanueva. Even though I said I can't buy them there, I just want to see if they had them. And then I also went to the La Casa del Ron y del Tobacco, which is near the Capitol, right next to El Floridita Bar, and they did not have them. I would suggest, and we didn't go to these other ones. There's 2 good La Casa del Habanos in Miramar. There's one on the 5th Avenue, and there's one at the Hotel Mille Habana, Went to those the last time we were there, and they're really nice places. They might have had them, but I was told by everybody else they're pretty scarce, and the chances were pretty good they weren't going to have them, and it would have cost probably 35 bucks a round trip taxi ride out there. And I just made the command decision to put the money into other cigars. Now, even though I said the Quay Dorsey number 54 was not available, this is one that was available. The number 50. Okay. They're not as highly rated, and they used to only come in a box of 25, but now they come in a box of 10. It's kind of handy for gifts. It's 48 bucks for a box of 10. They're $4.80 each, or CUCs. Okay. One thing I'd suggest is you search dates. When you're there, search dates. See if they'll let you go into the humidor. All of them have walk-in humidors except for the Partagas factory. They just have I guess the whole big shop's a humidor, and behind the counter, they won't let you get back there. But search dates. A good example is, and one other tip is, of course, you if you're there and you're going to buy 2 or 3 of the boxes of the same thing, don't buy them all at the first place you go to, unless they're old dates. If they're 20, like you're going 2019, like I did, and they're 2019s, don't buy both your boxes or 3 boxes. And here's a perfect example. The first place I went to, these are 2 boxes of Upmann Connoisseur A's. The first place I went to, July 19. I bought 1 box. Next place I went to, I searched through the boxes. Most of them were 19s, but I found a box of November 15s. Hadn't even cracked these open yet, but these are going to be nicely aged. So search boxes. A lot of the clerks will tell you they're all the same. They're all the same. They're not all the same. The open regattas, well, this is a master, but I've found some. Went through the probably 15 boxes of open masters and regattas. This is a March 18 date, which is only a year and a half old. But the regattas, I think they were 17s or 16s. So I was real happy with that. Most of them were 19. So do search dates if you have the time to do it. And they'll let you do it. Just don't be rude about it. Don't scatter boxes everywhere. Put your boxes back like you found them, like your mama said. So, and of course, if it's something hard to find and they got 1 box, don't pass it up no matter what the date. I mean, that's just common sense. I also suggest before you go, print off a copy of the official price list, which only place I know to find it is at Yule Blogspot Cigars. Google that. I've got another video that I did last year that actually shows the website. So, but if you'll just Google Yule, that's YUL Blogspot Cigars, it'll pull it up. Really good site. Okay, take a copy of that price list with you. The only places I saw that they did not have prices that were in line, and these were official La Casa de Habanos is where I normally go. But the only place that was an official La Casa de Habanos that had some discrepancies was the old Partagas factory right near the Capitol. And we were staying about a block from there, so I went there twice or 3 times. There was 2 things that they quoted me that were higher than the price list should have been. That is a box of 25 Hoyo Epicuro Specials, supposed to be 200, but they were 206 is what he told me. And ironically, the boxes of 10 were exactly like they were supposed to be priced at $8 a stick, which is 80. So I don't understand that. But the Upmann Connie A's, Connoisseur A's, were priced at $213.75. And the official list is $203.75. So I just didn't buy any of those there. I did buy other things there. Okay, and when you're at these La Casa de Habanos, keep in mind these folks don't make a lot of money. If they're honest with you, and I had my calculator with me, and I knew exactly how much I was supposed to pay calculated out the number of boxes I was buying. Nobody ever tried to cheat me there. You have to watch in Havana because a lot of people try to take advantage of tourists, but they didn't at the La Casa de los Habanos. And I ended up, I tipped them all, you know, each person that was helping me, somewhere between $3 and $5 CUCs. I use that interchangeably, but a CUC is about the same as $1. So just depending on how much I was buying there, I'd tip them between 3 and 5. Try to do that if you can, if they're honest with you. Also, make sure you take some Ziploc bags. These 2-gallon bags were really good, but this time I also took some of these really large ones, like a 5-gallon, 6-gallon, something like that. And you can find those at Walmart or Sam's Club. But you want to make sure you keep them, keep your purchases, you know, fairly airtight until they don't dry out. Also, while you're there, don't let them get over about 70 degrees for more than about 5 days because of tobacco beetles. And when you get them home, make sure you freeze them for 72 hours. There's other videos on that. I'm not going to go into that here. Cuban Customs. I need to talk a little bit about Cuban Customs. You are allowed to take 20 loose cigars and up to 50 cigars in sealed boxes without a receipt. However, if you're taking more than 50 out of the country, in this, you know, if you buy 2 boxes of 25 and a box of 10, that's more than 50. You're going to have a receipt, one of the official receipts. They call it La Factura, okay? And they won't give it to you unless you ask for it sometimes, so make sure you ask for it, because I am living proof that Customs will stop you, and they, if you don't have it, they're going to take it from you. Now, they didn't take it from me, but I had my La Facturas, and this is a copy of one. See where it says Factura, and it just lists out the cigars you're buying, the clerk's name, everything, and the prices. Excuse me. So just make sure you get that if you're taking more than 50. Okay. As far as U.S. Customs goes, you can take out 100 cigars per person, or you can bring back out in the country. And you can bring back in 1 bottle of rum per person before you pay the duty taxes. Anything over that, you're supposed to pay duty taxes on. Now, you can go over that amount. It's just got to be for personal use. And personal use does include gifts. So keep that in mind. But you can't take any compensation. So if somebody says, hey, buy me a box of these, I'll give you the $200. Even if you're not making any profit, you cannot take compensation. So keep that in mind. So we brought back 12 bottles of rum and over 500 cigars. And they didn't charge me for the rum, but they did charge me $120 duty, excuse me, on the cigars. So, best I can tell, we were charged roughly $40 per 100 that we were over on our personal use limit. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. Anyway, one last tip. When you're going, get a suitcase that does not have a zipper. You see this? All right, 2 locks, no zipper. That will secure your purchases. And if you're only going to take, if you can, just take, and you're buying, what you're buying will fit, for example, in a carry-on, and this is a pretty good size carry-on. It held quite a few boxes of cigars. Just carry them on. Now, like I said, Cuban Customs, they stopped me with my carry-on, and they made me point out exactly the boxes that I was taking out of the country, match them up to the Factura, every single one of them. So they're going to stop you and make you do that. But as long as you've got the Factura, you're good, the receipt. So one last thing. One disturbing trend that I've seen is they're going away from wooden boxes. I mean, this is a nice box of Montecristo Linea 1935 Dumas. $224, okay? It's a damn cardboard paper box. I mean, please, people, come on. You know, it's ridiculous that they would start skimping like that. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So stay tuned. I'm going to also have a video posted of my purchases. It'll be called How I Spent $2,000 on Cigars in Cuba. And I'll be uploading that within the next couple of days. Have fun and happy smoking.